How should I, 27M, address my roommate's, 27M, increasingly disgusting habits? I've been living with this roommate for 3 years, and over quarantine he's shifted to entirely working from home. He wasn't exactly a neat freak before, but he's picked up some new behaviors that are just plain gross. Things like clipping his nails, fingers and toes, at the kitchen table, leaving his sweaty exercise clothes, shoes, and socks piled on the couch, re-wearing said exercise clothes to work out each day, without washing them, re-wearing his non-exercise clothes for 3 or 4 days without washing them, giving dishes he uses a quick rinse and putting them back in the cabinets with the clean stuff, leaving food, often raw seafood, sitting out for hours. When I try to bring it up, he just dismisses it with something along the lines of, "Why do you care? Nobody's gonna come over and see how dirty it is, or it's not your mess to clean up, so I don't see the big deal." But other than his recent grossness, we've gotten along well and I love the apartment complex I'm in. I don't want to move out if I can avoid it. How can I get him to understand that, sure, nobody's coming over, but I want a clean apartment. I want to live somewhere that doesn't stink, and that I don't want to spend so much of my free time cleaning up his messes to keep it that way? TL, Doctor, my roommate is getting really gross and I can't seem to get him to care. What should I do? Say I pay 50% of the bills and I do not appreciate my living space being dirty. If you cannot clean up after yourself in a timely manner, the mess will be moved to your room so you can deal with it, including dishes, trash, etc. You can't really change his laundry habits, but you can change what you choose to accept in your own home. Or he can pay for a cleaning service to come in addition to his rent. Talk to him more clearly. Say you enjoy being his roommate and living in that space, but some of his behaviors are making it uncomfortable and not feel like your home, and you'd like to come to some agreements together. Tell him the things you like about living with him. Then unjudgmentally note the things that are affecting you negatively and come up with a compromise. Also ask if there's anything you're doing that you can change to make him feel more at home too. It's not about people not seeing it. It's about respect and hygiene, and he obviously doesn't respect you. It'd be a different story if he lived alone, then he could be as disgusting as he wants to be. I try to find a new roommate by the time your lease is up. Sounds like he's not going to grow up anytime soon. How can I get him to understand that, sure, nobody's coming over, but I want a clean apartment. I want to live somewhere that doesn't stink, and that I don't want to spend so much of my free time cleaning up his messes to keep it that way? If tact hasn't worked, you have to bluntly address your concerns. If he still ignores them, he's just not willing to care, and you're going to have to start looking for other options. Tell him if he wants to live like that, he can contain his mess to his room. It's unfair to subject you to a bunch of gross unhygienic shit because he doesn't care. He's doing these things in the common areas, not relegating it to his own private space. Be blunt with him. I would suggest, if he still insists on taking over the common areas with his own filth and not taking care of it, telling him that you are reducing your share of the rent to reflect it. You are playing for your percentage of the space and you should be able to enjoy it. Girlfriends, F21, body image issues starting to make me, M22, resentful. Advice needed. So for context, down the street from where I live is a metaphysical shop. They sell hippie clothes, tarot cards, crystals, etc. My GF and I really love going to this shop, but recently when we walk past I've been avoiding going in there because it puts my GF in a sour mood. The reason for this is that my GF really loves the clothes there and will always try something on, but this shop only has sizes 2 to 10 and my GF is around a 12 to 14, Australian sizes, so nothing ever fits her. It doesn't help that she will only try on the size 8, which she clearly isn't, and then get in a bad mood because she's, in her words, too fat to fit into any of these clothes. Constantly tell her to try things on in her size. I go out of my way to find shops that carry her sizes and sell the clothes she likes. She's constantly going on about her weight, saying that she's overweight and ugly, which she straight up isn't. A size 14 is literally average. And I have no idea how to help her. I can say that her weight is fine and normal, but she then just gets angry at me. And when I try to show her but today I fucked up clothes that are her style and size, she just blows me off and says that it makes her look massive. She's struggled with body image issues her whole life, and I empathize and understand that it's not easy, and I really feel for her because she's a today I fucked up person, and I wish she could have confidence in herself, but her weight issues are starting to affect our relationship. I can't go to the metaphysical shop with her anymore because she will always leave in a bad mood and will be snappy at me for the rest of the day, and I can't take her out for brunch or anything because she complains she has nothing to wear. I've just stopped trying at this point because it feels useless. I've suggested therapy but she won't go. I've even said that I need her to go to therapy for our relationship, but no dice. So we just sit at home on the internet all day, missing the summer fun. How can I deal with her weight issues? Am I being too pushy or hard on her? I can't deal with being on the sidelines because of her insecurity. Too long didn't read. My JFS body image issues is beginning to affect our relationship and bring me down. Help? ? I think you should stop trying to alleviate the symptoms by talking about clothes and appearances and talk to her about what's really bothering her. Maybe she needs some counseling, or maybe you two can work out a healthy meal plan to help her lose weight, or an exercise plan or something. You can tell her she's pretty till you're blue in the face, but she needs to accept who she is, or accept that she needs to make a plan to change things. So just say you're there to support her, but you need boundaries about the negativity attitude. I have had to talk to myself about being in a negative spiral, and I just say something like, you've been complaining about this a lot, so let's make a plan. I don't mind helping you vent as long as we are being productive and not just complaining to be negative because it affects my mood. It's not okay to take frustrations out on others, and finding a healthy coping mechanism for when she's feeling this way is going to be essential. It can be something like a relationship safe word. Like you're allowed to say you're being cranky and she has to do 5 meditative breaths or something that she decides count to 10 whatever, and she can't go off on you. That's the ground rule, and if she does there are no consequences other than she hurts you and your relationship. And like, she can do the same with you. You're going to have an honest conversation about the way her behavior is impacting you. Try to be as non-accusatory as possible, but if she's not willing to work on managing her body image issues in a less disruptive/toxic way, this may not be for you long term. You're not responsible for her refusing to accept help or support. I think that the more you go out of your way to hunt other shops, the worse it gets. So stop. Tell her how it affects you. When she is snapping at you, tell her that she is snapping, and tell her it is unfair to you. Tell her that each time you go around store she yells at you and that it affects you. That sort of thing. You want her to therapy because of her, but also because of you having to deal with this all the time. She needs therapy and learn how not to take emotions out you. If she refuses, you should leave because things will get worse, not better. Girlfriend says I'm too nice to people. My 26 meters, girlfriend 22F has always said this as a compliment to me before, but today it was a problem. Today, I needed to pick something up from a store, so she came along because her plans fell through. Inside the store, we were walking alongside someone who dropped a box of cereal and had her hands full, so I just picked it up and gave it to her. I tried reaching for my girlfriend's hand after to hold, but she didn't reciprocate. I didn't think too much about it. On our way home, Someone was trying to turn across the street and two other lanes on my side of the road stopped to let them turn. So I stopped in my lane as well. My girlfriend told me I should have kept going and that I was too nice for stopping. The way she said it sounded like the way I treated people bothered her. So I asked her if she had a problem with me being nice to people. She told me that it was. She wasn't joking. It kind of just threw me off because it's not like him going out of my way for strangers, him just showing common decency. I told her it's kind of messed up to attack my character and she replied by saying that I'm invalidating her feelings. When we got back to my place, she told me seriously, I don't want you being nice to other people, I only want you being nice to me and your family. Like, this is so bizarre. I have no idea what to make of what she just said. Only other time something like this has happened when I offered a beach pass to a group of girls as we were leaving the beach. She got upset with me because she can be insecure when it comes to girls, not faulting her. I asked her at the time would she be offended if we're men and she said yeah, maybe. So I'm turning here for advice about what just happened because I just feel confused. Too long didn't read. Girlfriend is upset I treat people with common decency. She's just not a good person. It really truly is just that simple, bro. She's not a good person. Your girlfriend is twisted. You are a kind person who is considerate. The kind of qualities that most normal people want. Though she's trying to change your entire character because she's selfish and jealous. You need to seriously consider your future and who you want as a partner. What will you and your future family stand for? What happens if you kids with this woman? What will she teach your kids? Good luck. Edit. She needs a counselor because she's trying to control abs, manipulate you as well. Move on. I don't want you being nice to other people, I only want you being nice to me and your family. WTF. That's just rather disgusting. Wow. Keep doing what you're doing, you're great. Your girlfriend wants you to be selfish, only centered on her, which, well, I wouldn't want to be with someone like that. The traffic thing is just ridiculous. If other people had stopped already, it was in everyone's best average interest for you to stop as well so everyone can get back to going ASAP. And good for you for being polite and kind to strangers. That's the kind of behavior that makes society and humanity both today I fucked up and great. Based on the title alone, I expected this post to be about you bending over backward to accommodate people. But, no, she's just upset that you treat people with basic kindness and consideration. That's absolutely wild. Being nice is a good thing. It's a good trait to have. Don't give up something good about yourself just to indulge your girlfriend's insecurity. Once when my husband and I were dating, we were at semi-fancy event with a buffet. We were walking back to our table with our food when an elderly woman we passed dropped her fork. Without hesitating, my husband offered her his fork, and ran back to the buffet to get a new one for himself. Made me really happy to see that the person I was dating was someone who would show that kind of niceness and consideration so freely, and it remember thinking how much I loved him for being that kind of person. He does things like this for people all the time, and it still makes me happy to see. Your girlfriend is being totally unreasonable here, and the way she's dealing with it is honestly pretty manipulative and unkind to you. Being so insecure she's mad at you for just showing base level consideration for other people just isn't okay on any level.